I cannot believe I got this on the first try. Oh my god. It was decent. Okay. You know it's gonna be a long video where I'm already drinking water. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing good as always. If you hear the fan, I'm sorry. That was the water bottle. It is way too hot and it is only 9:30 and I'm melting and I know, so I had to put it on. I have it far away, but still. So today we have a longer type of a video, which is why we have a different setup. I haven't done one of this in a while, I know, but I haven't been able to record this one specifically, and I'm already watching a movie and I already have like 2 other things that I want to watch that, depending on how it is, I might do a video of or not. But today we have this one. I'm talking about a series that Netflix released a couple of months ago that is called Black Knight. This released in what, I think May, June, something like that, but I didn't see it until July, I think. It took me a bit to watch because I usually watch this stuff on my work when I'm working, but because this one is Korean, I needed to read subtitles for the most part, and it was off, so I only had to see it either in my lunch or something like that where I could pay attention, so it took me way too long to watch. It only has 6 episodes. Yeah, 6 episodes, and they're not that long, they're like less than an hour, so you could watch this in one day fast. And it is actually based on a webtoon. Yeah, and it has the same name, Black Knight, and it is by Lee Sun Hyun. As always, this is a Korean series. There is Korean names. I will try my best to pronounce them as best as I can, but I apologize in advance. So let's start right away because these videos are always long. So the first thing that they tell us is the whole story as to why Earth we're started strong. It's the way it is now, so I'll try and sum it up as best as I can. I wrote it down. Basically they say that 40 years ago a comet, I wouldn't say that, collided with Earth, and it turned a lot of places into desert. There is no life, there's no plants, just desert and a lot of pollution. Only 1% of the population survived this, and this survivor needed like a new technology, a new social order to be able to like survive and all that, so they needed to deal with the pollution, and they made air core. I will see if I can find a picture of it, but that was built to convert oxygen. I tried to find out what that is, couldn't find it. They convert that into oxygen, and you will see a lot of people wearing masks where they have those air core that help them breathe, and most of them have masks already with it, so most of them you will see them wearing that. And lack of resources led to a division, which is the social order that they created, and they're all distinguished by QR codes. So most of the characters have a QR code, and they are divided into general, special, and core districts. And then the people that don't have the QR codes, that have a hard life because they don't receive as much resources and oxygens, they are labeled as refugees and they live outside. And some of these refugees, because they were tired of the discrimination and you know, lack of resources, oxygen, all of that, they became hunters, and these hunters were hunting the delivery men that were making the deliveries of oxygen resources to people that need it. This is where we see 5/8. Now I will say this now, the delivery men, and there's a woman, but they're called delivery men, don't have names, they don't have numbers, so I will put pictures every time I'm talking about one of them so you all don't get confused. But this is where we see 5/8, and this is the character that is played by Woonbin. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. I love that man. So this is the character that he plays, and basically, like I said, the men deliver oxygen resources to people, so the hunters will hunt them down and try to take the resources, and the delivery men need to basically give their lives and protect the cargo that they're trying to deliver. And this is why a lot of people dream of being a delivery man, but also because it is mainly the only hope that refugees have to be able to have a QR code is to become a delivery man. There we meet Saul. These names are gonna be hard. He is one of the main characters, and he stays with Sol oh god, and Sol there's different. There's one, if I remember, is Sel she's in the military, and Sel is the sister. I think I'm right, but he stays with them. I think it was the sister that saved him when he was outside, almost dying, and they brought him to where they stay. He shouldn't be there because, again, he doesn't have the QR code. He isn't supposed to be out, but he still goes out, especially at night, to like fight with the friends and try to get resources to the friends and all that. So later on we also meet 3 people. We meet Ryo-suk, Jin Kyun, and Madam President. That's how they call her. She really doesn't have a name in this series, just Madam President or President. So apparently what's happening is in the core district, the main one, there's overpopulation there. So Rio is creating this District A, which they're supposed to move people there, but they're kind of pressuring him because he's taking his goddamn time to doing that, and the overpopulation is getting worse and he's still not finished. And he's not happy about that. And also he doesn't want the government involved because he wants to do things his way like his father did, but his father doesn't want that. Like his father, when he created Shamyeon, that's how they call it, which is the city that the father created, he was very specific about the people that he wanted inside, and he regrets that, and he doesn't want his son to do the same thing. But Rio wants to do the same thing, and the father doesn't really want that because the father now wants people, everybody, refugees, military people, everybody to have a chance to be in District A and living there and have resources and oxygen and all of that. And Rio really doesn't want that. He wants the same thing that the father did years ago, and that's why the father has the government involved. So the government at some point will be in charge of picking the people that we get in District A. So like I said, Saul is not supposed to get out of his room. Who is the one that Sel, which is the sister, gets him in the room and he cannot get out. She locks the door, and because he doesn't have the QR code, he cannot unlock it from the inside. The problem with this is that when she does this, she opens the door and these robbers come in and they try to rob her. Sao is able to get out of the room somehow. I don't remember how, but he's able to. I think he breaks the screen so the door unlocks, and he tries to, you know, defend, but they have guns. He doesn't. So a lot of shots happen, and then they kill Seo, and then they shoot Saul on the head, at the back of the head. This is important. They shoot him in the head. Because 5-8 was in the area, he sees the commotion, he goes in, he kills the robbers and defend them, and before he gets out, he sees that Saul is still moving. He's alive somehow. You will think, why the hell is he alive if he got shot in the back of the head? Literally. 5-8, he knows something's wrong with Saul because he doesn't have a QR code. The sister, the military one, Seol, goes there. She's investigating. She's merely like, where, you know, trying to not make it obvious, but she's worried about Saul and if they find him or not. And that's how she figured out that 5-8 was in there, and a lot of things happened, whatever. But the thing with Saul is 5-8 gets him, of course, he takes him with him. And 5, oh my god, so many numbers. 4-1 and 5-8, so many numbers. Oh, this is gonna be confusing, but both of them are talking. For one is the woman, I love her, she's a badass. They're talking about Saul, right? And they're stuck as to why he's alive. He got shot in the back of the head. The bullet was stopped by his skull, so he's still alive. 5A has ideas of why Saul is like this, but he needs confirmation. And then when they are panning on Saul on the bed, they get a close-up look of his feet. I know this is probably triggering somebody, I'm sorry, but they do. And they especially focus on the ankle, and we see that he has some kind of cut. It is open in the ankle, but we see no bone. We see metal. There's no bone whatsoever. It's all metal. So we already are thinking, what the hell is he made of? Why is he metal? What is happening? Saul ends up escaping from where they had him, and he and Seola does meet, and they speak, and she's like, my sister is dead, you don't remember anything, it's totally fine, but now you're free, you can go, take your stuff, thank you for everything, if you need anything look for me, I don't mind, but you can leave. You know, the sister is not there. He was there to protect the sister since she was the one that rescued him, so there's no reason for him to stay there. But they leave in like a good note. It wasn't her being like, I don't want you. No, they leave on a good note. Sawa is definitely depressed by this. He even tries to kill himself. There is this fight that he went to, and he was just going to let them kill him, and his friends get there to kind of defend them, which their names are hilarious. They're called Useless, Dumb, Dummy, and Dum Dum. Literally that's what they are. But they're like the comic relief. Like, they make you laugh whenever you're already at the point of exploding of anger. So they're good in this series. But they try to get there to save him, and of course they cannot do anything because they're useless. So Saul does get hit in the head with a bat, and he gets knocked down, but a few days later he wakes up completely fine. Again, another instant that he should be dead, but he isn't. Another thing that happened that is important, Ryosok has somebody in the delivery man group that works for him, and he is called 5-7. He is the one that is capturing these kids that work in a mine to give to Ryosok to do experiments on and stuff, because Ryosok is sick. He has something. They don't fully explain what it is, but it has to do with blood, because he does a lot of blood transfusion or something where they clean your blood, something, but it has to do something with blood, and he's sick, and he's trying to find a special mind kid to help him, and 5-7 is working for him inside the delivery man. So 5A actually knows Grandpa. He is Grandpa. We see him, he knows Saul, and this is where we know that both of them do know each other. 5A gives him soil samples that he uses to conduct his own experiments to see where plants grow better, where the soil is more healthy for plants to grow, and all of that. That's the whole kind of experiment that Grandpa is doing. And 5-8 is asking him about Saul and what he is, because apparently Saul's father worked in a mine that kids work on, and some kids, because that mine was radioactive, some kids are mutant, which it is what Saul is, and the blood is special, which is why Rio is trying to find one of these mutant kids to help him with the illness. 5-7 dies, by the way. Wow, I said that so not caring. He dies. He cannot take the pressure. He tries to kill himself, but 5A finds him before he can kill himself. He start asking him questions. That's how 5A was able to like figure out that Rio was behind the kiss and capturing them and doing all of this stuff. But before 5-7 can do or say more, he's killed. He's killed by Rio and his assistant. Now, the bad guys in the back of the head, they have this tattoo. It's like 3 triangles, I think, and they do this surgery in them, which I will explain what it is later because I don't have it right now in my notes, but it's this surgery that they do. They say it is a basic brain surgery. I remember, I can explain it now. It's like a basic brain surgery that they do, really basic, where they're able to wire the brain differently so they have no emotions and they're killing machines. And all of the bad guys have that tattoo at the back of the head, which they're able to recognize, and they put something where Rio can just kill them from far away in his office. Yeah, because Rio loses 5/7, he doesn't have anybody on the east side to work with him, so he decides, I need something to distract people so I can keep working on my plan. So he makes this tournament to pick the new delivery man that is going to be the new 5/7. Oh yeah, the Black Knights that end up meeting, that's how they know that Chamyeon is behind the kidnappings of the kids, and 4-1 tells them about Saul, him being a mutant, what he is, why they probably need him, and what the other, you know, steps are to stop District 8 from being finished. Serie and 5/8 does meet in this meeting later on because they're trying to find him and whatever. And again, their relationship is not complicated, but it's interesting because they're both sort of working for the same thing, but they're working different ways. Because in this one they're meeting, 5/8 does tell her about the murder of 5/7, what he said to him, the tattoo at the back. He even gave her a drawing of how he looks like. He gave her the information, and she's like, okay, I will investigate this, but on her own way. Like, they're both working on the same thing, and you can see that as the series progress, but they're working on it differently. 5/8 is working more towards, I don't give a shit what happens to me. If I have to fight, if I have to kill people, I will do it to protect my people. So is working more with the law. She's like, I cannot help you because the law doesn't let me, but if this happens, or if you do this, I can get involved because I am the law, and I'm part of the military service, and I can help you. Do I explain myself? It is quite a good chemistry what they both have, and the way that they help each other their own way. Amazing, I love it. And then they still don't trust each other, but they still work together. Tao ends up getting to the tournament to become a delivery man, and 5/8 and 4-1 help him train. There is this little montage that they do of Saul training while participating in the first round of the tournament. Now this first round, all of the contestants are divided into 8 groups, and they're placed inside a room, and only one person from each group will win, which essentially 8 of them will pass the first round, and they just need to fight their way out. Like, they need either to kill everybody or to punch them and knock them out. That's what they need to do. And there's like a montage of him training, and then a montage of the first round. That's how they do it, and it's quite fun to watch. Saul does win in his room, and 7 other ones in their different room, but Saul does passes to the second round. Oh yeah, so Rio wants to have a little bit more control over Soa because he doesn't trust her. So how he does this is making her give him information about everybody, so they can start the process of picking who is going to go in District 8. The other round in the tournament is all 8 of the people that survive, including Saul, and they all have cars, and they have a cargo, and they have to deliver this cargo at the end of the line, to the finish line, with no damage whatsoever to the cargo. Now there is this prisoners that are gonna be the hunters, and they have a deal with them. Essentially, they're like, if you kill them and you stop them, you get out of prison. If you die, you die. If you don't, then you go back to prison. That's the whole deal that they have with them. So you know how intense that gets, because they're like, I'm getting out of prison, bitch. So it is intense. The thing is, Saul does guess to the end. There's this one guy that guess first, and then Saul does try to save this girl, which he shouldn't have, but he did, and they both get to the end. But because his cargo was damaged, she passed the test to the end, to the final round. He didn't. But Rio, she had a hurt arm, so she was disqualified, and Rio decided to pass Saul to the next round to give hope to refugees that they can also make it. Third round is happening. It is a fight between the guy and Saul in a ring. Now, remember what I said, that Rio really doesn't like his father, and his father doesn't want him to do the same thing that he did, right? So they do end up fighting at some point. The father gives control to the president, Madam President, when it comes to the whole picking people for district and stuff. This makes Rio angry, so he's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I will televise this last round of the tournament. He brings these trucks with TV where refugees are, and they're like, if you come and see the fight here, we will give you resources and oxygen. And of course refugees go because they need that, and he televises it. Now, while the fight is happening, 5-8 already knows something is wrong with this, because this never has happened of something being televised, tournaments, nothing like this, and he already knows Rio is sort of planning something. What Rio does is, while the fight is happening, he brings some of the band people, the ones that have the two at the back, in these refugee groups, and when the fight ends, I think it is, at some point in the fight, they explode. They have bombs and they detonate them, killing all the refugees there. And 5-8 does get up to one of the groups, but they're already dead when he gets there. So again, this is a way of Rio telling his father, I'm doing things my way, I don't care what you say, I will. And also to lower the number of refugees, so not too many of them go to District 8 and get picked to go there. Oh yeah, at the end of the fight, I forgot to mention this, Rio knows that Saul is a mutant because Saul got hit in the head, and when he wins, because he does wins, he takes up the bandage and you can see the metal in the cut that he has in his forehead. And Rio now knows, not only him, pretty much everybody, because it's being televised, that he's a mutant. So now Rio wants Saul because he needs a mutant. Saul becomes 5'7" delivery man. He does end up starting to work. There's a little montage, kind of cute, of him working and trying to get used to it. 5-8 does tell him about his plan, about the Black Knights, what they're working for, what they want to do about, you know, destroying Shamyon and District A, and what they're planning on doing, and gives him a chance to be like, do you want to be part of us or not? Like I said, still does give Rio that personal info, and he's like, you know what, I will give refugees a chance, but before that they need to go through some tests and vaccination before I can pick if they're going to District A or not. This is bullshit, because what he's doing is injecting them with a virus that is gonna kill them later. 5-8 did capture one of the bad guys at some point, but they get away, and they call Mr. O, he's the Rio's assistant, and the bad guy is like, thank you for bringing a rescue team to rescue me where I was. And Mr. O was like, hell no, I didn't do any of that. And before he can talk, Mr. O kills him, because they noted that this whole rescue team was a lie. It was actually the Black Knights acting as a rescue team, so this other bad guy could get away and bring him somebody that could give them information. It was hilarious. Me saying it's not gonna be as hilarious as seeing it, but it was hilarious to me. and 5-8 and Sale appear, and Mr. is there, and they're trying to get him info about where Rio is and what he's doing, and all of that. And again, the chemistry between 5-8 and Sela, it's hilarious. It's like, give me info. And Sela is there like, I have nothing to do with this, but you are breaking the law, so you can go to prison for this, for this, and for this, so this is why I'm here. 5-8, it's having doubt. There's these trucks that pass where people live that is supposed to purify the air and make the air better quality for everybody to be able to breathe better, even with the mask on. And 5-8 start having doubts that the trucks are actually doing this, so he tells the delivery men that are on the place to get to these trucks and measure the air quality that goes out. And that's when they realize that the air quality is worse. So these trucks are actually making the air worse for people to go outside. And this is the whole plan with Shamyon. Shamyon, the how did I say it? The whole power that they have is with oxygen. So if the air quality gets better, people will not need oxygen, meaning they won't need them, and they will lose all power, and they don't want this. So that's why instead of making their air quality better, they're polluting it even more, so people would need oxygen and keep asking for more oxygen, and they can get money. Tail does end up knowing this. They do end up telling her about what they're doing, and again, she is the law, so she's like, okay, let me see what I can do. Also, something that happens that got me very surprised, the chairman, Ria's father, and the grandpa, they actually know each other. The grandpa does have a QR code, but it's broken, it doesn't work anymore. They do know each other. They were working together. It had to do something with the air, like the air quality and making it better and all of that, but something happened between them. I think the grandpa didn't really like what the chairman was doing, so he got away. They break the QR code so he can't come back and all of that. So that's why the grandpa knows so much, and that's why the grandpa has the blueprints that at some point the Black Knights will use to get into the core district. Did I mention the grandpa is amazing? Okay, just in case. So again, Rio, his father, he doesn't like him. He doesn't like what he's doing. Rio doesn't like what the father wants, so he kills him. There's this defense guy, military person that is there in the office, but he ends up killing the chairman, whatever. So the chairman is dead, and now Rio is the next chairman. And because at this point, before this happened, the chairman and the president, he gave the president the right to pick whoever gets in District A. She is in charge of all of that, and the delivery man. So because the chairman is dead and now Rio is the next chairman, Rio makes this announcement, and he's like, my father is dead, I'm the chairman. These people, which are the delivery men, are trying to destroy what we have or something like that, and we are arresting the president, Madam President, because she is in charge of them. So that means she's behind of everything that they are doing, like trying to kidnap me and all that. But again, people don't know that this happened like a few hours ago, so they believe that she is in charge for a long time. So Rio is using all of that to his advantage. So yeah, he makes them into like terrorists and all of that, so people are aware that they are there. Which when 5-8 finds this, he gets angry, and this is where Grandpa gives him the blueprints for the core district and for them to be able to get in, because they have Saul. They capture Saul at some point when they figure out that the vaccines are a virus, and they try to like stop it. Saul is captured when he was trying to save one of his friends that actually died. Again, Rio just wants Saul's blood. They have him sleeping. essentially. And they're like transferring blood, I don't know how you say it, but they're putting Saul's blood in Rio to see if that can like heal him, whatever he has. So they do end up getting into the court district. The Black Knights are there, and Sola is there. Now again, she's more the law aspect, so she was like, you go and save Saul, we will go and save Madam President and arrest whoever did this. They kill Mr. O, he's useless, so okay, he died. And she's able to arrest the defense guy that was helping Rio and save my president. So the law aspect is saved, she did her job, amazing, great. With 5/8 and the Black Knights, he does end up getting where Rio is. Rio ends up getting where the air court thingy is in the middle of the court district, and he overloads it. Overloads the air thingy, court thingy. And Rio is there with Saul. Saul is in this like wheelchair, and 5/8 is there, and they're pointing the guns at each other. And Rio is like, if I'm going to die, everybody's going to die because I did this and I don't care, and everybody will die if I cannot get out of here alive. And 5/8 is like, do you think people are going to forgive you if you die? Hell no, boy. No. So Rio dies. Saul is sort of awake, so what he ends up doing is moving the chair a bit to distract Rio so 5/8 can shot him, and before they get out, 5/8 kills him. And they're all able to get out, like the Saul with the military people, all the Black Knights, Saul, all the kids that were there that Rio was using for experiments and stuff like that. They were able to get them out before the air core thingy in the middle explodes and kill everybody inside. Everybody's safe and alive. And then at the end of everything, to finish, the president, Madam President, is doing an announcement about District 8 being finalized, and then they will start relocation, and they're going to start with the refugees by the date of registration. There's going to be like a process. They're also going to get rid of the class classifications, which are basically the social order thingy, and that they will start to supply to everybody resources, oxygen, food, anything necessary to everybody, let it be refugee or not. And then Saul is resting. He has like longish hair, where he looks adorable with it. If 5/8 is like making a delivery, and Saul is like, can I just get out for 5 seconds? So 5/8 does end up getting him in the truck, getting him out, and while they are driving, Saul is like, don't you think that the air is better, like the sky, you can literally see a little bit of blue of the sky, there wasn't as much dust, it was looking clearer. And 5/8 is like, yeah, I can see that. So you can think that the air is getting better, and that they will soon not need the oxygen or anything like that, and they will be able to like rebuild everything. And that's how it ends. This was a journey, wasn't it? I will say, to finish this video up, I do like this series. It is very fun to watch. There's a lot of things to catch your attention. So far from what I have seen, I always say this at the end of the video, I haven't seen anything about a second season. I looked it up even before recording this, and I saw nothing about a second season. I don't know if there's gonna be a second season. I don't think a second season is necessary because everything was explained, was resolved, like the air is getting better and all of that. They're just living their lives now, so I don't think a second season is really necessary. The way that this one ended was enough, and it is like a good ending. I don't think another season is necessary, and it is, by this time, if they haven't said anything, I don't think they'll do a second season. This series did good on Netflix, so I'm surprised they didn't try to do a second season, but I don't think it's necessary. I did try to find a webtoon and see if there was more to the story after this, but I couldn't find it either, so I'm not able to see if there's more to the story or if this is how it ends. But again, so far nothing about the second season. I did really like it. I will say there is some parts that can feel kind of slow because it is a lot of talking, but I feel like those parts are very necessary for you to understand the story, what is happening, why these people are working together, why they're doing this, why is this happening. So probably try not to skip those parts, as boring as they might seem, because they're kind of important for you to understand the story and getting the full thing of what actually is happening and understanding why everybody is the way that it is. There's a lot of action, there's a few fun parts that make you laugh, that, you know, like I said, you're boiling in anger so much and then there's this funny part and you're like, okay, I'm laughing, it's okay, I feel better. So there's definitely parts like that. So it's not, everything is not boring talk. There is some fun parts, there's a lot of action, especially at the end-ish. It doesn't bore you, at least I mean it didn't. Those talky parts are a little bit more slow. I was into them because I was like, oh my god, this happened, why? And they're explaining it and I'm like, yes, please explain it to me. So I didn't mind it too much that there were the slow parts talking, because it did help me understand what it was happening. So I do really recommend it. It's still on Netflix, so you can go ahead and watch it. I think it's fun. I do really like it, and I will watch it again if I needed to watch something, because it is quite entertaining to watch as well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it's not that long. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing great, taking care of yourselves, and I will watch you. Wow, wait, no. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing great, taking care of yourself, and I cannot speak anymore. I'm tired. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing great, taking care of yourselves, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye bye.